now you've referred to, you've just stated that you will defend Musi as your brother. In the midst of this crisis, is there space for negotiations, talks, outside formal politics to try and deal with this crisis between like-minded people who are against the president?
Well, it's very difficult to meet ANC people because they're extremely scared. Mm-hmm. They live in fear and they're not genuine. I've never had the problems with Mbalula. I've always appreciated him and I've always spoke very well about him. But where he makes nonsense, I take him on. And that has always been our relationship, even when we're still in the ANC. We'll stay until very early hours of the morning, debating between the two of us, just the two of us, and disagreeing on a lot of things. I even publicly gave an example that Mbalula called when we were about to remove President Mbeki and said, please, Julius, don't do it. You must oppose the removal of President Mbeki. Let's wait for him to finish. And we had a huge debate, me and him, about that. Our relationship has always been about that. But I've never met him since I got expelled from the ANC, except to meet him in public places like, not necessarily public spaces, in weddings and parties and clubs, because I was with him in not necessarily with him, I bumped into him in a Black Coffee's wedding. I can't say I was with him because those ANC people will slaughter him for being with me. And then they will begin to say, he's the one who's giving Julius information. I've got no such a relationship with him. So there's no space to discuss those issues with ANC chaps. And there's no chap that irritates me, like a chap that when you meet, he says, let's put the phones that side. Behaving like you are a serious fellow, taking themselves too serious. I don't meet such people. If you meet me, we put our phones here. We talk. We're not scared of anything. We're not committing crimes. We're not meeting to overthrow government. We're meeting to rescue, South Africa. The same thing with Solima Paila. I've never been friends with Solima Paila as a person. I grew up in the ANC, so I know all those chaps. I know all of them, literally all of them. And then I'm talking leadership. Why are you doing your face like that? I'm talking leadership, not some arrivalist and Bomabino Sulu, Zwane. Zwane is a small boy. I don't know Zwane. I know Zwane's bosses, who is Makashule and all that. You see, it's not Zwane. And then I know Soli. I've always been fighting with Soli in the meetings and all that. But, our history is such that we in the Youth League and the Communist Party, we never had fundamental problems. We had problems when the Communist Party began to be factional and then align itself with Zuma like that without any ideological clarity as to why Zuma. But almost all issues, when the ANC went for bilateral meetings with the Communist Party, I will come with the ANC from the NWC, but I will be on the side of the Communist Party against the ANC. The same thing with COSATU. When COSATU comes, I will be with COSATU, yet I'm a delegation of the ANC. I will be with COSATU on issues, because we've always found each other. So that has always been our relationship with Soli. So I was not doing Soli any favor. I will do that with any South African who's going to be assassinated by these people. The deputy president of the EFF warned these people in parliament that after stealing money, he's going to start killing you one by one. And then they charged him for that because he was telling the truth. They want to kill Soli. It's not a joke. Because solely, and hey, the crisis we find ourselves in end up forcing us to praise hypocrites, man. Because Soli is the only one in the whole alliance. The whole alliance. Soli is the only one who's genuinely fighting against the Blade is pretending. Blade doesn't mean anything that comes from his clean mouth, if he's clean. Blade is not telling the truth. It's not genuine. Blade is the man who chases positions. He chases positions. And then when he wants to sound radical, he says, they can take these positions. Why are you not handing it over if you don't believe in that position? Why are you saving a corrupt government? Go resign and come to parliament. And then do what Pravin is doing now in parliament. Take the corrupt government head on. There are a lot of methods of fighting a corrupt government. You don't have to save it. But because Blade likes those things, he even gained weight from saving those people. He will never resign from that. It's only solely, and then that's why Zuma is having a headache from Soli. Zuma today complains about Soli the same way he used to complain about me. That's how I knew he's going to kill him. Zuma used to complain about us from here to America and coming back in the plane. Every conversation Zuma is having today about what must happen to the ANC and the alliance, Soli is at the center of that conversation. Soli is featuring the same way I used to feature in Zuma's articulation of the problems of the ANC, and that's why we were expelled. But he can't expel Soli, because Soli is Communist Party. He has got no control over that. So if he cannot expel him, the only option available is to get rid of him. They will make him disappear. So, and I know the genuine people who are in the Zuma circles who said to me, were worried about how he speaks about Soli. And the way of warning Soli to. So I told Soli's family that Soli must not go and have a chisanyama. Anyway, he must go to a rally with bodyguards, go home. Go home until after December. That's 6 months. At least the kids and the wives, they will enjoy him for these 6 months. He must not go anywhere. That's his life. Wherever he goes, he must be in the camp of someone. When they come to protest, like when they were protesting at his house, the plan was that they were going to protest, knowing Soli is going to go out and say, no, I must talk to them, they are comrades. And then one of those people will shoot him, and then accountability is going to be, no, he's some fanatic, he's some hobo, he didn't have a mandate, and therefore he's going to serve life imprisonment and all that. That was the plan. When he gets out, a Zuma, it must be like a Zuma fanatic, then went for him. In the same way they wanted to shoot him during the Chrysanis Memorial. Why did Zuma speak first, and even after speaking first, left Chrysanis Memorial? Because Zuma speaks last. Doesn't happen like that. And in a place where Zuma changes the arrangement and then leaves, solely there is an attempt on his life in the absence of the president. And remember, once the president leaves, the security collapse. Why? Why did it happen like that? In a place where Swahili was almost, why did the protocol change? In whose interest the protocol? Soli is a well-trained soldier. He knows and understands what I'm talking about. He knows and understands what I'm talking about. You must not eat any food provided by these people. Not in any event, not anywhere, not even in the Communist Party. Because in the Communist Party, are people like Butimaname, who are saving Zuma's interest. So Soli can't even trust some of the Communist Party people. Please, Mama, prepare meal for Soli when he goes to a meeting. Must eat the meal prepared at home. Must bring his own water. Scarf tea. Soli achara scarf tea. And stop eating anything offered by these people. It happens all the time the ANC goes to a conference. He knows that. At least for 6 months. From there, he can regain back his life. They will all be normal after December. All of us, including the leadership of the opposition, particularly the EFF, which is the main threat to the ANC, must be extremely careful. I'm not saying people must be paranoid. We are entering the period of madness. We're entering the period of madness. So, what you do with whoever, you must be careful. Well calculated moves. And please, most of the time, let's spend it in the presence of the masses. The masses are our shield. And then in the absence of the masses, let's be at home. If we can't be at home, let's be in the company of someone. It's becoming dangerous now. If they can eat their own, who are we? The EFF is the only practical threat to the ANC. We are the only threat to the ANC, even in 2019. You know the ANC, Lindiwe Zulu, Batabile Dlamini, Lindiwe Sisulu, Nomvula Mkwenyane, Weekend Specially, KB, Butimanamela, Aaron Mutwaledi, no, Aaron, at least Aaron. No, I'm talking about these ministers, right? All of them who are supporting Zuma, they do so because they are not personally affected. Even after losing metros, they are still ministers, they are still getting the same salary. Even when the rent falls, they are still ministers, they are still getting the salary. Even when there is a recession, they're still getting the salary and houses and trips. So all of this doesn't affect them personally. That's why they can't take action against Zuma personally. They can't take a personal stand against Zuma. They are going to do that the day the ministerial positions are gone. They are like, hey, this Zuma has cost us, man. As long as it doesn't affect their pocket, as long as it doesn't affect them individually, they never take any action. So let's teach them the lesson in 2019. They must be punished so that they come to appreciate that their overprotection of Zuma has costed them Gauteng, Northwest, Limpopo, Natal, South Africa. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and the presser is adjourned.